Hello friends, welcome back to Nejmo's history classes. In today's lecture, I am going to discuss one new chapter from the Lakshmikant's Indian Polity and Constitution. This is the first part of the Constitution of India, the Union and its territories. Before going to our discussion, you can subscribe and share and support my channel. Definitely you will get a lot of useful videos. Okay, let's start today's classes. Today's class, the first part of the Constitution, the Union and its territories. This part includes the Article 1 to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. These four articles regarding the Union and its territories. You can understand through watching this full video. Okay. Article 1 describes, I am going to look into the Article 1, the provisions regarding the Article 1. Article 1 describes India, that is Bharat, as union of states rather than a federation of states. These provisions deals with two things. You can understand these provisions deals with the two things. The first one is the name of the country and the second one is the type of polity. In that period of time, the Constituent Assembly, there are a lot of suggestions regarding the name of the country. Some members suggested the traditional name of Bharat, while the other advocated the modern name India. Hence, finally, the Constituent Assembly had to adopt a mix of both India, that is Bharat. That's why our country's name India and Bharat. Okay, the second provision is the type of the polity. The country is described as union, although its constitution is federal in structure. It is, according to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, the phrase union of states has been preferred to federation of states for two reasons. That is, the first one reason is the Indian Federation is not the result of an agreement among the states like the American Federation. In the American Federation, you can see the American Federation is the result of the agreement among the states. But in the case of India, this is not like the American Federation. And the second one is the states have no right. In India, the states have no right to secede from the federation. The federation is a union because it is indestructible. You can see in India have different types of, India have a vast geographical area. That's why our country is divided into different states and different union territories. But this is only because of the administrative convenience. Okay, I think you can understand this. According to Article 1, the territory of India can be classified into two categories. The first one is the territory of states, the second one is union territories, then the third one is territory that may be acquired by the government of India at any time. Article 1 deals with territories of state. You can see we have a lot of different types of states, different union territories. The third one is territories may be acquired by the government of India. What is the acquired territory? Being a sovereign state, India can acquire foreign territories according to the modes recognized by international law. You can see the best example regarding this. India acquired several foreign territories such as Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Goa, Daman and Diu, Puducherry and Sikkim since the commencement of the constitution. You know, these all territories are under the control of foreign country. After the commencement of the constitution, after the independence, India acquired these several foreign territories. That is the acquired territory. Clear? Then let's look into the article, the provisions regarding the Article 2. This Article 2 empowers about the Parliament to admit into the Union of India or establish new states on such terms and conditions as it thinks fit. Thus, Article 2 grants two powers to the Parliament. That is, the first one is the power to admit into the Union of India a new status. The second one is the power to establish new status. The first refers to the admission of states which are already in existence, while the second refers to the establishment of states which were not in existence before. That is the difference. Can you understand? Notably, this Article 2 regarding the admission and establishes of new states by the Parliament. Okay. Then let's look into the Article 3, the provisions of the Article 3. Article 3 relates to the formation or changes in the existing status of Union of India. Here you can see the difference between Article 2 and 3. Article 2 regarding the admission of states which are already in existence, while Article 2 relates to the admission or establishment of new states that are not part of the Union of India before. But Article 3 relates to the formation or changes in the existing status of the Union of India. That is the difference you can see here. Then Article 3 deals with the internal readjustment. You can remember this. Then Article 3 authorizes the Parliament have some powers regarding the first one is Parliament can form a new status by separation of territory from any state or by uniting two or more states or parts of states or by uniting any territory to a parts of any state. The second one is Parliament can increase the area of any state. Then third one is Parliament can diminish the area of any state. Then fourth one is Parliament can alter the boundaries of any state and also can alter the name of any state. These all powers have the can do by the Parliament. However, Article 3 lays down two conditions also in this regard. In this regard, you can remember two important things is that here actually these all types of changes need some amendment. That's why Article 3 lays down these two conditions. The one is the bill is contemplating the above changes can be introduced in the Parliament only with the prior recommendation of the President. This is very important in the prelims point of view. The second one is before recommending the bill, the President has to refer the same to the state legislature concerned for expressing its views within a specific period. But here you can see another important point is that here the President is not bound by the views of the state legislature and may either accept or reject them, even if the views are received in time. But this is in the case of the status. But here, in the case of the Union territory, there is no reference need to made to the concerned legislature to ascertain its views, and the Parliament can itself take any action it deems fits it. What is the difference between the two? I think you can understand the difference. Then here you can remember another important point also, that is in the case of India, indestructible India is rightly described as an indestructible union of destructible states. The union government can destroy the states, whereas the state government cannot destroy the union. But in the case of USA, on the other hand, the territorial integrity or continued existence of state is guaranteed by the Constitution. The American federal government cannot form new state or alter the borders of existing states without the consent of the states. But in the case of India, this is not like that. That is why the USA is described as an indestructible union of destructible states. You can see the difference is in the case of India, an indestructible union of destructible states, but in the case of US, an indestructible union of indestructible states. Okay, this is very important point you can remember. Then let's look into the provisions regarding the Article 4. The Article 4 itself declares that laws made for the admission or establishment of new states under Article 2 and formation of new states and alteration of areas, boundaries or names of existing states under Article 3 are the above explaining matter are not to be considered as amendment of the Constitution under Article 368. These all types of changes need some amendment, but we will discuss about the different types of amendments in the coming classes. There is one type of amendment under Article 368, but in the case of the state alteration and changes, no need of the under Article 368 is no needed. This means that such laws can be passed by a simple majority. There have need only simple majority, and by the ordinary legislative process. By the ordinary simple majority and the ordinary legislative process can change the boundaries and the above explaining changes. Okay, this is regarding the Article 4. Then I think today's class, can you understand today's class? If you have any doubt, you can comment, and then we will see in the next class with one new topic. Okay, then bye.